407 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in the great Civil War, testing whether that the nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure.
So who are you?
I'm a Union soldier.
Were you ever a slave?
Yes, I was from Virginia.
What made you want to join the Union Army?
I want to end slavery for my country and for the people that were slaves.
Do you ever think America could have avoided the war?
No, it was unavoidable.
What made you join the Union Army?
I want to end slavery for my people. When Lincoln said the slaves were free, I ran away to the north.
Do you think America could have avoided this war?
It was very unavoidable. There was lots of things that led up to this fight.
Like what?
Like what? The Kansas and Nebraska Act said those two territories could decide to be free or slaves. I think they called that popular sovereignty.
I heard that didn't turn out so well.
No, it didn't. Kansas got nicknamed Bleeding Kansas.
Why is that?
Those folks over there ended up fighting and killing each other over slavery.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, sir?
As I was going through Gettysburg, I heard our great President Lincoln give a short but amazing speech. It made me cry. I joined the Union Army the next day. Now we are going to whoop these rebels.
So what do you feel are the main issues that caused the war?
Us in the northern economy were based more on industry. The northern industries were purchasing the raw cotton and turning it into finished goods.
The South had become very dependent on cotton for profit, which meant we'd need slave work to get the work done for the crop. We were based on plantation systems, while the North was focused on city life.
So the difference between the two set up a major difference in economic attitudes. Both sides were different.
States' rights and federal rights were another issue. There have always been two sides to the debate. Those arguing for greater states' rights and those arguing for the federal government needed to have more control. In the South, we favored states' rights being greater.
In the North, we favored the federal government having more control.
Many felt that the new Constitution ignored the rights of states to continue to act independently. They felt that the states should still have the right to decide if they were willing to accept certain federal acts. This resulted in the creation of nullification, where the states would have the right to rule federal acts unconstitutional. The federal government denied states' rights this right. When nullification would not work and states felt that they were no longer respected, they moved towards secession.
The fight between slave and non-slave states was another big issue since expansion had begun. There was always arguments and disagreements as to a new state becoming either free or slave. We wanted slavery to stop expanding. We felt it was wrong and against human rights.
We needed slavery to run our farms. That's the main reason we fought to keep it going. It was necessary for us to keep our farms in business. Without the labor, we would be down the toilet.
Growth of the abolition movement became another problem between both sides. We had become more against slavery as time went on. Sympathies grew for abolitionists and became more and more against slavery and slaveholders.
Uncle Tom's Cabin enraged us Southerners. It was completely wrong in the way we run our operations. They just made it seem worse than it was.
The novel had helped to bring out the evils of slavery to the public eye, which increased anger against slavery. The Dred Scott case was another issue that veiws said slaves weren't humans and had no rights.
Slaves are slaves. They were property. If you owned a couch, it was your couch. I don't care where the couch is, it was yours. If it was yours, does your couch have rights? No. Should the slave that is equal as much property as a couch get rights? No.
The election of Abraham Lincoln topped it all off. When Lincoln was elected in 1860, South Carolina issued its Declaration of the Causes of Secession. Before Lincoln was even president, 7 states had seceded from the Union: South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas.
With Lincoln being elected, we immediately believed that he was anti-slavery and in favor of Northern interests. So that's what kicked off the Civil War.
What battle had the biggest impact on the people in your part of the country? Why?
For us, I think the battle of the most impact was the Battle of Antietam. It was the bloodiest, and we'd suffer far more casualties than we should have. It was by far the most gruesome and deadly battle. It basically showed that this war was a life or death struggle. The bloodiest single day in American military history ended in a draw, but the Confederate retreat gave Lincoln the victory he desired before issuing the Emancipation Proclamation.
For the South, I believe it would have had to been the Battle of Gettysburg. Almost accidentally, our troops discovered Union cavalry in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So we attacked, paving the way for the largest battle of the war, lasting 3 days. We ended up losing the battle and a huge chunk of our men. It pretty much crushed Lee's hopes of carrying the fight farther north. It set us back quite a bit.
Go. We're burn down the entire Georgia. We'll bring down their morale. They ain't gonna have nothing to rip through. Oh, man. Looks like something's been here before. Look, a trail. Oh, man, there's a creek. Man, where there's a creek, there's civilization. They're gonna wish they never born. Jesus Christ. Man, there's Georgia landscape is a little slippery. That Georgia plain. Look! Atlanta! Oh man, we're almost there. Atlanta, here we come. Oh damn! We went past it! Atlanta! Yeah, they're throwing everything they got at us. Ah! Ow! Ah! Ah!
This is my fire stick.
Whoa! Atlanta, here we come! Very Martian man. Ignite we are as Union soldiers. Are we gonna make it? On our horses! We can march! Look at geese, let's do it! Dude, we're camping at 22 right now. Hunt season. Go on, like a wolf. A goose. Ooh. Let's go over this way.
Zoom in on it.
I see that. If my dad doesn't have clear right now, I would just oh.
Nothing up. Don't burn and stuff.
This is bad. Hey, that's a really big thorn bush. In the sea we are. Watch me. So I'm walking on a big mushroom head. That is this Bob over here, man. Where the hell did the goose go to? Oh. Oh, it's not that far.
Are you beaver in here?
Yeah, you're a beaver. Oh, there should be traps up in here, so you should be careful. Look at this spot. You got that, John? Nature at its finest. Oh, he's sliding on the ice. Nature at its